It's not been long at all since my last video on Dolly's factory. It hasn't even been a week at the time of writing, but we've already got another update and new lore info and wait, over 10k views? 300 subs?
Who are you people?
But seriously, thank you so much guys, I genuinely don't know what to say. I mean, other than thank you. It genuinely warms my heart knowing that some people care about my silly fixation passion projects enough to give me a thumbs up. That's very nice of you all. But you're not here for the soppy stuff. You want the lore, and that's what I'm going to bring to you with the new material we've been given. So hey guys, gals and pals, my name is Alex and I'm your professional yapper for today. Let's dive straight into it. This July 4th update brought us a new map, new settings, buffs, balances, and bug fixes. And after playing quite a bit, I'm incredibly pleased by all of this. But one thing intrigued me. The new map. Perhaps it gives us some more lore? Not really. But look at it! This map features what appears to be a more traditional looking factory setup, giving us an expanded idea of what Dolly's factory looks like. It's so clean looking, and it feels a lot fuller than the previous maps we've seen in the game. It feels very complete. Other maps were also minorly revamped and polished. This update just wins all across the board. Chef's kiss, devs. While I could go on about this update, I really want to talk about the new lore drop from Crystal, and an exciting server-exclusive sneak peek that have made me entirely reimagine my previous theory on what's going on in Dolly's factory. While I was celebrating 10k views on my last video, Crystal popped into chat to congratulate me, compliment my video, and ask if I wanted another lore hint. Firstly, thank you Crystal, that means the world to me. And secondly, who could refuse? Of course I accepted, and here's what we got. As it turns out, my theories from last video are dead wrong. Nobody's surprised here, I'm certainly not. But I'll talk about what this means in a moment. Crystal singled me out and put me on the spot to ask one question that only she would answer. Before, in classic Crystal style, pulling back and answering several lore questions, but we got a lot of info from this. So here, we learn that the mysterious entity behind the rejects wasn't supposed to exist. Someone created both Dolly and Dexter. The lobby is us waking up as plushies created by Dolly to go into the factory to help. The factory currently is open. Humans currently don't help out at the factory. Dexter is sad because he, quote, keeps losing plushies out there and can't do anything other than give them items to survive. Also, side note, Crystal confirmed Cinnabon and Buddy are friends, hence their dialogue, which is very cute. Not lore important, but adorable. But by far the most interesting and revealing piece of info to the story is this message from Crystal, which reads, "One last thing. The person who made Dolly and Dexter are responsible for what happened, regarding the rejects. No, they didn't make them, but something else did." So, with all of this info, I have a brand new theory to bring to the table. Well, refined, at least. Half-baked. I don't have the whole picture, and I'm not going to pretend like I do, but I do have some things I'm hypothesizing. Disclaimer, I'm going to operate off of the theory that Dolly and Dexter aren't humans nor plushies, but a third race called dolls, which hasn't been proven yet, but I feel is pretty plausible to assume given the situation and what we know thus far. Since we know that Dolly and Dexter's creator, along with Dolly and Dexter themselves, aren't directly at fault for creating the rejects, I hypothesize that the creator of Dolly and Dexter actually initially made a third doll alongside them. Perhaps a precursor to them, a test, or a mistake. I theorize that this third doll was either unwanted or simply pushed aside by the other two dolls' roles and popularity in the factory. Either way, they would have been in the picture, and for one reason or another are now out of the picture. This would have made them furious. Probably even matter that Dolly's factory is as successful as it is. Maybe this doll has a power similar to Dolly's as she's able to give life to plushies through currently unknown means. Maybe this third doll would have used their powers or skills to be able to engineer the exact thing, or rather things, that created and spread the reject quote-unquote disease. And I think that this is exactly what is pictured in the sneak peek that came out when I was in the middle of writing this script. Here we see a poor Cinnabon crying and wincing as she's being infused with a sort of rainbow thread administered by a gray character with a thimble on their head. I'm going to personally call this guy, or these guys, thimble minions, because I believe that there are multiple of them, possibly hundreds or thousands, that the unseen antagonist of the game has created. I believe that this is an image of how rejects are made. Continuing my theory, I think that the third doll created the thimble minions and thread shown in bulk to do something about Dolly's factory's success, hoping to cause a catastrophe. Also, maybe the rejects don't infect or turn plushies into rejects by sheer contact or killing them directly, as I thought before, but maybe they instead merely are wired to drag them back to the thimble minions to be converted. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Anyway, back to Dolly. Crystal confirmed that my previous theories that Dolly hasn't turned into a reject or may somehow be transferring between states is false. This may seem impossible as Dolly is also currently in contact with Dexter and has no clue the factory is being overrun by rejects. But there could be a very simple solution to this problem. The reject Dolly we see in the game could be a different entity altogether, probably created by either the third unknown doll or perhaps another prototype created by Dexter and Dolly's creator turned reject. But if this is really a separate Dolly, is there a separate Dexter? I'm not exactly sure of the implications of multiple copies of Dolly and Dexter. You know, I really wonder if we're gonna have a moment in the future where we see a map with all of the mass-produced lifeless plushies on the wall, like that one scene from Toy Story in Al's Toy Barn. I think that would be really fun, actually. Either way, I theorize that this is the Antagonist's biggest project, and that Reject Dolly is going to be a real problem. Also, just now, I was made an official content creator in the Dolly's Factory Discord server, which is really cool. Thank you, Crystal. And as much as I'm concerned, that's about all we have for now. Thanks for sticking by. See you in the next one.